A CBC employee is charged after allegedly videotaping a female tenant.
The Senate scandal continues and the World Series begins tonight. Humber News starts now.
Hello, it's Wednesday, October 23rd. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at the North Campus. I'm Jonathan Rumley. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Yasmin Neal. Ahead on your show, we have all your news, sports, and entertainment highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, Jonathan has our top story.
A Toronto landlord has been charged with voyeurism. Rachel Landry has the details.
David Seeley, a CBC employee who rented at his condo, allegedly filmed a female tenant while she was naked. It is said he planted hidden cameras throughout the property and posted the video online. The woman found out about the site after a friend found it on a pornography site. Seeley works at the CBC in an off-air role as an associate director in the sports division. The CBC released a statement saying, given the serious nature of these charges, we will be conducting a thorough internal review. We asked Humber students what they thought about the allegations.
Rent out a room, you expect your privacy to be concealed within it, and I just think it's bad of him to do that.
I think it's really disgusting that somebody can invade somebody's privacy like that. Like, privacy is a privilege, and it's just disturbing because you don't know who that person is or how they're actually thinking, and for them to put it on a site to disturb somebody like that and ruin their reputation as a person is disgusting.
Seeley is charged with voyeurism, mischief, and defamatory libel. Section 235 of the Residential Tenancies Act states that any landlord who knowingly harasses a tenant or interferes with a tenant's reasonable enjoyment of a rental unit is guilty of an offense. Police say they found more than 100 separate videos of women naked in different rooms of the condo. Police suspect, based on the videos they found, that other women were also filmed without their knowledge. They are asking anyone who rented from Seeley to contact the detectives at 14 Division. Rachel Landry, Humber News.
The TTC is trying to become the simpler way. The 4 current subway lines in the city may be getting name changes, from street names to numbers. The Young University Spadina line would be named 1, the Bloor Danforth would be 2, the Scarborough RT 3, Shepherd Line 4, and 5 would be reserved for a future line. A report will be presented at the TTC's meeting today. It says the new naming system will make the subway more user-friendly. It's focusing on occasional riders, tourists, and newcomers to the city who may not be familiar with the street names.
People taking taxis in Toronto may end up with lighter wallets. The city is looking into implementing a new law that will require taxi drivers to own and drive their own vehicles. Local cab companies say this will cause Torontonians to see fewer cabs and higher fares. The city is also looking at installing debit and credit machines in all taxis and making all vehicles wheelchair accessible.
Big Brother is watching you, and if you're a Bell Canada customer, they'll soon be tracking your every move. Alexander Gundy has the story.
Starting November 16th, Bell will start collecting detailed personal information about their customers' activity. Bell will track customers' habits through web pages visited, phone calls, location, app and device usage, and TV viewing habits. The account activity will be collected and used to target ads back to the customers. George Paravantis has experience developing apps and using analytics for marketing.
I kind of have to question why Bell is doing this right now. And I think it has a lot of people concerned about what are they going to do with this information.
The company began sending notices to customers about the updated privacy policy last week. Mark Felice did not receive one.
In my opinion, it's a breach of my security. I have the right to view whatever I want. I shouldn't be monitored and use that information and so they can make a profit.
Delivering ads based on web behavior isn't new, but some customers say tracking phone calls crosses a line.
Because we have mobile phones and it's our privacy, and how can they track us, and I don't like this.
Bell customers have taken to social media to voice their discontent. A spokesperson from the Office of the Privacy Commissioner of Canada says they have received several complaints, and the office says they will be investigating Bell's new privacy guidelines. Customers have until the 16th to opt out. However, they can only opt out of receiving the ads. Their data will be collected regardless. Alexandra Gundy, Humber News.
Facebook has been under public scrutiny after a video of a man beheading a woman was found on the social network. The video was removed on Tuesday, the day after Facebook lifted a temporary ban on graphic and violent images. Facebook says graphic images can be posted, but only in a manner that condemns the acts. Facebook also says they plan on strengthening their policies surrounding graphic content.
The Ontario Liberal government is calling for tougher penalties against drivers using cell phones and other handheld devices. Transportation Minister Glenn Murray says he personally supports legislation that would include demerit points as part of the penalty. Ontario brought in a law banning drivers from using handheld devices in 2009, but the current penalty is a $155 fine. The Ministry of Transportation says over 51,000 motorists have been ticketed this year.
The Progressive Conservatives are pushing the Liberals to take credit for some mistakes. The PCs have introduced a motion to force Ontario's governing Liberal Party to pay back $950 million for cancelling 2 gas plants in Oakville. The Liberals say they made a mistake in placing them too close to schools and homes. Conservative Jane McKenna says the cancellations were purely political decisions and taxpayers should not be responsible for the money.
When we come back, we'll have more news from across the country and around the world. Xiao Lee will have the sports news, and we'll have your weather forecast with Erica Vella.
The days are getting colder and shorter. I'll have your complete 5-day weather forecast after the break.